Hello and welcome to Internet Culture. I am Mark Tasman. This video covers Chapter 5 of the book, Internet Culture. What is CMC? Computer-mediated communication is any kind of communication between people that is mediated by a computer device, computer technology, or computer networks. In the early 90s, scholars thought it was important to study computer-mediated communication, CMC, because of the way that it was changing our relationships. We can break down computer-mediated communication into two types, synchronous and asynchronous. This means, synchronous means something happening in real time. A phone call that you're having with a live individual is synchronous. It requires all parties to be there at the same time communicating. This video, however, is asynchronous. I'm making it in one time and it's traveling somehow through the internet, through a computer system, and reaching you, and you can watch it whenever you want. Arcade Fire, a band from Montreal, wrote this song called We Used to Wait. Ooh, we used to wait. And it's about how he used to write letters, he would send them off and wait for them to come back. My question for you is, what did you used to wait for? Do you guys do you remember letters? Who remembers a letter? Listen, there are pros and cons to computer-mediated communication. You know, a pro might be, yeah, you can communicate with a certain level of anonymity. That means you're anonymous or you have a pseudonym. You're pseudonymous. Pseudonymous.
CanM uses anonymity. This is what CanM looks like. Or this, or this, or this. His avatars and appearance are anonymous.
Anonymity, the lack of culpability or responsibility to those kinds of communications, can create other not so good situations. A big con, I think, of computer-mediated communication is that it lacks these kinds of cues where you can see facial expressions, you can hear a tone of voice, you can see gestures, and all of these things we have developed, humans have developed over a millennium to say, listen, I am a human being just like you, have a little empathy here, because I've got empathy for you too. Norman Johnson is a researcher who studied the increased incidence of flaming, and he found that this increase in flaming while using CMCs is due to the reduction of social cues, which decrease individuals' concerns for evaluation by others. So if you see me being mean to somebody, you'd be like, come on, why are you being so mean? But when we're all alone on the internet together, we think that nobody is watching, even though everybody is watching. So when we think about computer-mediated communication and written text technologies, these things leave a trace.
Dear loser, Chris.
Persistence. When we write something down, it sticks to a piece of paper and we're forced to deal with it. Herbert Clark suggests a list of non-basic communication settings: co-presence, visibility, audibility, and instantaneity, which reflect the immediacy of face-to-face communication. Other features like recordlessness, evanescence, and simultaneity have more to do with the medium itself rather than the setting of communication. Evanescence is this quality like your breath on a cold morning where you put it out there and you can see it hanging in the air for a second. You know it's there, it's real, and it disappears. What are some types of communication that actually work like that actually transmit or communicate some kind of thing, but as artifacts leave very little trace and disappear? Can you think of some?